Georgie, aren't you going to say hello? Oh, come on, bucko. Don't you want a balloon? And balloons, too. All colors.
Do they float?
Oh, yes. They float, Georgie. They float. And when you're down here with me, you float too!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Scary Stories by the Campfire. We are your counselors, Jeremy
and Jason.
And today we are talking about Stephen King's 1990 version of It. And Jason, I have one question for you. Do you want a balloon?
Really, Jeremy? That's what you're going to go with?
Oh, I am. Sure enough, that's what I'm going with.
I was expecting you to go, do they float?
Oh, I was expecting you to come back so I'd be like, oh, they float.
This movie is
they all float. Oh my God, it is so much fun. God, I love this movie. Oh, I love everything.
Technically, movie series, right? It's like a mini series.
Yeah, it was like a 6-episode mini series when it first came out, and they kind of pushed them all together into one movie. It's like a 3-hour-long movie. So today we are talking about the first hour and a half, and then next week we will talk about the second hour and a half, and then we will go on to the remakes of It Part 1 and It Part 2. So, Jason, start us off when it comes to Pennywise the Clown.
All right, Pennywise. This is the Tim Curry version of Pennywise, and he is, at least back in the day before the new It remakes came out. You want to call them remakes? This was the definitive Pennywise, even though he was the only Pennywise. And this particular here's the thing about this movie, and what we'll probably get to when we get to the remakes. This Pennywise, at least maybe for like people who are afraid of clowns, this Pennywise isn't very scary. I mean, the biggest like real scare factors you get is when he does this thing. He goes, and he has like the sharp teeth in his mouth. That's about. And I don't get what he's doing. What is he doing? You read the book, Jeremy. What is he doing? Because he just goes around. He kills Georgie.
It's supposed to be scaring the kids.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't scare the other kids. He ate the one girl, or he killed the one girl. Is he eating them?
Yeah, he eats them. Okay,
so he ate the girl, and then he ate Georgie, but he just scares all the other kids. Is there a reason for that? Is he like? Does fear make?
You taste so much better when you're afraid.
They didn't get scared.
Wheezy did in the shower. He was scared.
He was scared of germs. Well, technically, his mom's scared of germs,
So it's funny that you talk about scariness, because I actually just read this thing on here that said on the DVD commentary track, the actors noted that Tim Curry's characterization was so creepy and realistic that everyone avoided him during the filming.
I mean, I guess it's different when you're there in person. I mean, I'm pretty sure the kids were scared of him, I would assume. maybe. I know, like when they did the remake, because I know when they did the remake, since we're talking about scary clowns in person, I know when they did the remake. Who was Pennywise in that one?
Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, I know. Like when they did the scary scenes with the kids, after they said cut, he would always check on them, make sure that they were, all right. Hey, you good, you good, and they'd have a laugh and giggle and whatnot. But I don't know anything on the backstory of this one. I know, like you just said that, people thought he was creepy. Was he like? This wasn't like some sort of like method acting, was it? He didn't like stay in character the entire time, did he?
No, because he was already reluctant to do the role, apparently. Because he had just got off of doing playing Darkness in Legend, where he played the big demon. And
oh yeah, like the Satan character or whatever.
Yeah. So Tim Curry was really reluctant on doing this role because of all the makeup. He didn't want to wear it all because he had just got done doing that. And he said it was very taxing and very tiring having to spend all that time in makeup and then wearing it all day. Like, he didn't want to go through all that again. And the director made a deal with him and was like, look, we'll cut back on the makeup and stuff like that if you take the role. And he's glad he did, because Curry's performance was that good.
I mean, I give it to him. It's a good performance. It's, he's very. Tim Curry does very good when he's playing kind of these corny characters. He's got a very a charm to his performances, but he does play these characters very, very well. I mean, maybe back in the day, this was what was considered kind of scary and kind of creepy, or maybe off-putting. Maybe is the term I would go with. But at least today, not scary. You can have more laughs with it than anything, but it's more or less kind of just the way he performs and acts over anything. He's always kind of like hamming it up.
It's funny because all the cast in that commentary have fond memories of working on the miniseries, saying it was one of the best experiences of their lives. And it's mirrored, 27 years later, because apparently the kids who worked on the part 1 of the remake said the 3-month shoot was the best summer of their lives, saying that they were all best friends on screen and in real life. So it's kind of cool to see how all the actors, are saying that this miniseries was, one of the best times that they've ever had filming.
Those were the kids on the miniseries, right?
No, they're just saying the actors, all of the cast for this one, have fun.
Well, yeah, I mean, you would have to. And I know, it is really easy to slip into talking about that new one. But I think that makes the performances for the kids better in this, because all these kids that are in this movie, the 7, it is 7, right? 7
Yeah.
In the Losers Club. They're all well acted. They're all likable characters, which is really rare, because you always get like those big kind of groups where there's always like that 1 or 2 character that you just don't like.
Yeah.
This one, they're all likable.
Even the bullies are likable. Well, one is.
Don't get me started on them bullies. That one bully, he's so hammed up. I don't know why he hasn't been put in prison at least 6 times over.
Yeah, but they added.
I'm gonna kill you, fat boy. I'm gonna kill you.
I think it helped added to the, that connection and depth with these, and making the other 7 likable is what I was getting at.
I think the bullies are kind of one note though.
Especially Belch.
What's your special talent?
But
and the other guy?
I don't even know the other guy. But it was it was fun to watch. And then apparently, you know, kind of like Bill Skarsgård did on this one, they the theater scenes racked up many dull hours of waiting and retakes for the child extras. Tim Curry would actually come onto the stage in full costume and conduct sing-alongs with the extras, most of whom didn't know who he was and just thought he was an actual clown that was hired to entertain them.
Wow. That's funny. I mean, yeah. I mean, that does happen a lot. You get extras in a show. I know one of the last times we went to Pensacon, they had an actor who played a zombie, right? And they were talking about like the different stages of zombie. You know, you got like the close-up shot ones, like the star zombies. You got like full makeup, contacts, everything. And then you go, and then you're watching an episode or whatever, and you see the zombies are like way out in the background. Those people don't have any makeup, right? So they're just kind of like extra zombies. He said, you know, people. I think someone asked him, "Hey, what was it like to, you know, act or perform around like Norman Reedus and stuff like that?" He's like, "I never even met those people." And he was kind of like a star zombie. He was been killed on screen a couple times. He's like, I've never even worked with those people. So, you know, having these extras in a movie like, or a miniseries like this, you know, it's not hard to believe that these kids wouldn't know who Pennywise is in this movie because, you know, they wouldn't act around him. So it's just interesting to, you know, hear that, you know, these kids just thought he was a birthday clown, which makes it even funny because this is supposed to be the terrifying, scary kid-eating clown, and all the kids are like, "Yay, birthday!" You know? Just kind of fun.
But you know, there was somebody else who was considered for the role of Pennywise.
Oh, here we go. It's always that Elseworld multiverse.
So,
Tom Cruise.
Oh no, that would be funny though. Good Lord. No. So he's not an actor actually.
Oh, he's not an actor. He's an actual clown.
No.
No.
But he does wear a lot of makeup when he plays music.
Oh, Marilyn Manson?
No.
No.
Not a lot of makeup, but he does wear makeup. We've seen him. The King of Shock Rock. Alice Cooper.
I don't think so. I wouldn't go with that. I mean, has he performed in anything? Like acted? And I'm not talking about like that little cameo in
I don't think so.
Freddy's Dead or whatever it was.
I don't think he really has.
Yeah, for a role this large, I wouldn't just give it to anyone. I'd give it to someone I was comfortable with. And I know, God bless him, Tim Curry could just take this thing and run with it in his big floppy clown shoes. Savannah would hate this movie.
But you know, it's funny that everybody remembers Tim Curry and the clown and Pennywise and all that. But you know what? He only has 20 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, I mean, I did notice that. It's like he just kind of pops up here and there, but he's not in the. Hopefully, he gets more screen time in the second half. Or was that for the full 3 hours?
For the full 3 hours.
For the full 3 hours, he only gets 20 minutes?
Couple minutes here, 30 seconds there.
Oh my God. That's horrible.
But he's like the main focus and what everybody remembers. It's amazing how in a 3-hour movie you remember the 20 minutes that he's in. Most of the lines that people recite are his.
I mean, that is true. It's take what you get, and that's probably what makes this movie, this miniseries, whatever you want to call it, is because the villain is not in the movie like the entire time, but they use that energy so well and make it so um, memorable that you can't forget, you know. And I forgot Seth Green was in this movie.
Yeah, it's very, very young baby Seth Green.
He still acts the same way.
Absolutely. Exactly the same.
He still has that same style. Who else was in this one?
Are you talking for young or adult?
No, let's start with the kids. Let's start with the kids.
Oh man, hold on. All right, so you had Jonathan Brandis as Bill.
Yeah, he's been in a couple things. At that time, he's the one who I think he's the one who passed away. I think he committed suicide.
He died in 2003. He was in The Neverending Story 2.
That's right.
It doesn't say how he died, but probably.
But yeah, I think it had something. That's the thing with child actors, though. That's the scary thing with child actors is that you put them in these shows and these movies and whatnot, and they, I guess, for the most part, they usually get used to the limelight. You know, they're the front and center, and you know, once they get to a certain age, they just kind of disappear. They don't, you know, they're not kid actors anymore. I mean, you can look at Macaulay Culkin or.
Well, you also had what's the one actor from Stand By Me? Oh God, what's his name? River Phoenix. He committed suicide.
Yeah, he was in
a lot of stuff too.
He was in Indiana Jones, wasn't he? He was in The Last Crusade. He played young Indy.
Yeah, he plays young Indiana Jones. So then we had Brandon Crane, who played Ben, which you remember which one Ben is, right?
So.
Huh?
I said I think so, yeah.
It's Fat Boy.
Yeah, Ben.
Then you had Adam Frizzell, who played Eddie.
And that was
Wheezy. Yeah. Okay, so they get ready to go in the sewer and like he needs his inhaler and like for some reason everyone's taking puffs of this poor kid's inhaler. That poor kid. Everyone like huffed all on his inhaler and crap.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that was a scene that was not in the book, because there was another more infamous scene in the book.
Yes, there was, and it's not in either movie.
Yeah, I know it's not in either movie because it would be just really, ugh.
Yeah,
but I think that's what the inhaler thing was. It was them all. I don't know. Is their way of bonding, I suppose, and yeah, but you know, the scene in the book is a whole lot more. At least in this day and age, well, I mean, even when was the book written? Because even back then, it would be freaking disturbing.
Yeah, no, it would have been.
Cop should have been knocking on his door.
And then you have Seth Green, obviously playing Richie. 1986. So it came out 4 years before this movie.
Wow.
Ben Heller, who played Stanley.
Stanley.
Yep. Then you have Emily Perkins, who played Beverly.
Yeah. The only female of the group.
And Marlon Taylor, who played Mike. You know, Mike Hanlon. Who? Mike Hanlon from Derry. Sure.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
back.
Yeah, so when does this clown show up? Like every
27 years.
27 years.
Because the remake came out 27 years after this one.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I wonder if they did they do that on purpose?
They timed it on purpose.
They just looked and went, so what you're saying is if we want to keep this trend on in another 27 years, we're going to get a new It movie. We're just keep doing It's for 27 years forever.
Yep. So then let's move on to adult. Now, he minded in this one, in this half of it, you don't get a whole lot of the adult people. You kind of get a little bit of it. You get more of the kids in this one and more of the adults in the second half.
Yeah, because it was like,
this is like their backstory part of it. And then the second half of it was
like
today.
Mike would call a character as an adult, right?
Yeah.
And he would call the adult character, and the adult character would go back and reminisce about some horrible event that happened to him as a kid in that place. And they then proceed to pack their bags and get ready to go back to Derry, and then wash, rinse, and repeat with every single character.
Except for one. One did not make it back.
Except Stanley. Wow.
I guess getting picked up by a clown in their little trust circle did not go over too well for him in the long run.
I know it was traumatizing for him and he couldn't face it, but Stanley, you could have just said no.
He promised. He swore.
Actually, did he? Did he actually say anything, or did he just put his hand in there?
No, he said, I promise. He was the very last one. He was very hesitant.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's kind of being forced into it. Hey, if this evil clown shows up, you're going to have to come back and help us. But I don't want to. If you don't come back, we will find you and kill you.
I guess I'm coming back.
Okay, I guess so. Yeah, you could just said no, Stanley. I'm pretty sure there's... And the book is really, really thick. How many pages is it, Jeremy? Do you know off the top of your head? I mean, you have the book.
I do, but I don't remember.
I just know it's like really freaking thick.
1,138.
It's a big book. It's a big book, and it's a lot of material to try to fit in a 3-hour
miniseries.
I mean, they could have. I think in the new movies they added a little bit more because you have like almost 4 hours. I think because it's between the two movies, it's about 2 hours each, give or take.
Yep.
So you get about an extra hour of material you can put in there, but still, that is a lot of stuff in the book. And they may explain more in detail why Stanley committed suicide, as an adult when he got the call. It just seemed kind of And quite frankly, I don't want to be mean or anything, but I didn't really get attached to Stanley.
I didn't either. Even as a kid, I didn't.
It's because he's kind of the background. I mean, he's there. He's got speaking lines. He just seems like he's there. Not like he is, not like the other kids. The other kids had like their own solo little flashback, and he didn't really get one. He was always tagging along with Richie. And yeah, then they got the call, and he killed himself. And like I said, could just said no, bro.
So 2 things. Apparently, where was it at? I just saw it. This part, so part 1, so episode 1, which is part 1. I guess the miniseries was actually only like 2 episodes.
You said what?
The way IMDb is making it sounds like it was only 2 episodes when it first came out. So a part 1 and a part 2, which is weird. But so apparently, part 1 was the 5th highest rated program on Sunday, November 18th, 1990 when it aired. Happy birthday, Jason.
Wow.
With an 18.5 rating and watched in 17.5 million households.
That is I'm trying to see here.
But he also, so writer and director Tommy Lee Wallace actually admitted he had never read the novel before making the miniseries. He preferred to let the script speak for itself, and in the DVD commentary, Wallace revealed that he read the novel later on and admitted that he believes the miniseries fell short of the source material. So he probably read the Spark Notes and made a movie.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Which kind of sucks if you think about it, but then that's probably why the newer one puts a little bit more detail into it. You know what I mean? Because one of the big differences that most people notice in this version compared to the book, and they actually show it in the new one, and you'll see it when we watch the new one, when Georgie is running down the road, chasing after his boat. You know the police barricades?
Yeah.
He's in the book and in the new one, he hits his head and falls right there. Like he
really
runs head first into it.
Why? Yeah, just because it's in the book?
Yeah, it's in the book, and it's in the new movie.
He's just not paying attention, I suppose.
He's not. He's watching his boat, and he's looking down at the boat, watching it go, and he runs head first into that police barricade. I guess in the book, it's kind of like how he loses his boat because it gets too far away from him and it goes into the sewer. And that's how it all started. But overall, let's go through the adult actors. So you had Richard Thomas play Bill. And man, did I want to chop that man's hair off.
He had that little ponytail thing going on.
Uh-huh. And
what else was he in? Because he looked familiar also.
He likes to stutter. Which apparently only came back when the phone call came back.
Apparently. Maybe it's just because he remembered...
He's in 10 episodes of Ozark. He's in a lot of TV series. He's in... For movies, he's not in a whole lot. He's mostly does TV stuff. It's weird that you see these actors that look so familiar and you're like, oh man, he looks so familiar, and you have no idea where.
Yeah.
And it turns out like you don't know him. Tim Reed played Mike Hanlon. Annette O'Toole played Beverly.
She looked familiar also.
Harry Anderson played Richie. Let's see what she's in. Anything specific that we would know? She plays Martha Kent in Smallville.
I never watched Smallville.
Oh, well, she's in every episode of that.
Okay. I mean, I may have seen her in that, and that may be what's triggering it, but...
I mean, when you play Superman's mother.
Yeah, that is true.
And apparently a lot of the one-liners from adult Richie were all improv by Harry.
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of those witty one-liners that I think are more prevalent in the second half. They're all improv. So kind of think about that when he's going through it. Dennis Christopher plays Eddie, who still lives with his mother.
Yeah.
Richard Masur plays Stanley.
Okay.
Who really didn't get far.
Nope.
And John Ritter.
John Ritter
Played Ben.
I know, I've seen him in quite a few things.
Yep. He
gets to be a victim of Chucky at one point.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff. And I know the name very well. But he plays Fat Boy. Adult Fat Boy.
Actually, he thinned out quite a bit, I guess, when he got older. He was even bragging to that woman about it. He's like, yeah, I used to be a fat boy.
A real butterball.
Yeah. And ironically, the kid's not that big.
No, he's really not.
He's not that big. He's kind of a normal size. I mean, he's a little bigger than the other kids, but he's not like... He's not a butterball. Kid's just a normal kid. I mean...
Yeah, but them goons, man, they woo!
Goons are so over-exaggerated as being these... I mean, like I said, the bullies, those guys should have been like locked up in like a prison the way they threaten every single member of this community.
But I think that's part of the whole like everybody feeling it kind of deals where his influence like affects everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of like adds that effect because everybody was mean in this town.
Yeah, everyone. This you shouldn't have called this place Derry. You should have called this place evil.
I mean, look at Bill's dad getting mad that he went into Georgie's room to look at a photo album. What'd I tell you about coming in here? Never come in Georgie's room again.
Yeah.
Like,
and
Dad, calm down. I'm trying to grieve here.
Then you got Beverly's abusive, probably even kind of rapey dad there. That might be a bit more prevalent in the newer movie, though. He just seemed extremely abusive in this one.
What I did like, and it's a story thing, was how they could see the blood, but nobody else couldn't. Ravenfire just said that was totally out of line. Didn't they see the blood? No, they couldn't. The blood was a way that Pennywise was scaring the children. The only people who can see Pennywise are the children. The parents can't see him.
Yeah, yeah, you kind of get that sense because when we were, especially like Beverly's dad. I mean, you had a sink full of blood because the balloon came inflated. It was like, and blew up and got up in her face. It was all over the place, and the dad just comes in and he's just like looking, and then he smears that blood on her face. Yeah, that's yeah, that was just the parents couldn't see the blood, but the kids could. Wonder if they had to wash it off. They like jump in the shower, start cleaning off the quote unquote invisible blood or whatever.
That'd be weird.
I know, you're in there trying to clean it off. It's not coming off. Like,
yeah, because one of the
dad smacking you around.
Get out of the shower. You're using all the hot water.
That's one of the big quotes from this movie was, and this we saw in this half where Bill's like, "Kill it, Bev," and Tim Curry's like, "Kill me? You're priceless. I am eternal, child. I am the eater of worlds and children."
He is the eater of worlds and children. And then he took a piece of melted mercury, it looked like. It's supposed to be silver. It was silver, what is it?
Earrings.
Did they melt it down, or was that just an ugly design? It looked like melted metal.
They didn't say they melted it down. He's just like, these were my mom's silver earrings I got. I'm like,
yeah, and Beth pops him in the head with it. Pow! And it looked like it split his head. He's like, ah! And he crawls down his little hole.
He didn't crawl. No. He did not crawl, Jason. He acrobatically Batman flipped over them.
Yeah, he did
and then just like Mario'd himself down the hole.
Yeah, he did the front flip. He was like, straight on down.
That was after he Mario belched through the pipe.
Yeah. That broken pipe grabbed him and sucked him in, folded him in half like a Jason Voorhees, and
And then what was even better was like the UFO looking torso light that went over them. They're all like,
yeah, it looked like a bug.
well, technically he is.
I know they explain it later. What?
He's like a big spider.
Is he an alien though? Is he like an alien, or is he just like a bad?
He's.
Let me. I'm on.
It's like he's an entity.
Yeah, he might just be an entity.
But he's like he's a big spider. And he looks like a big spider.
Whoa. He is the secondary antagonist. Who's the main antagonist? Is he the bully?
Probably.
Oh, what? That can't be.
What?
Okay, so I'm just on this Wikipedia or this fan page, or I don't know exactly what it is, like Stephen King wiki or something. But it talks about Pennywise being the secondary antagonist of the Stephen King. They using the word multiverse? Are you serious right now? Oh god, everything's gone. It says serving as the main antagonist of the novel It, its miniseries adaptation, and its 2 film adaptations, It and It Chapter 2, and a mentioned antagonist in Gray Matter, Dreamcatcher, Hearts in Atlantis, Insomnia, Nosferatu, Elevation, and the Dark Tower film. It also appears as a minor antagonist in both the Tommyknockers and 11/22/63, and specifically the unseen overarching antagonist of the short story The Boogeyman and the Dark Tower.
Yeah, I forgot that Stephen King does that with his stories, where he like intertwines the monsters and entities all into like different stories.
Oh no. It is set to return in the series Welcome to Derry, a prequel to the film adaptations.
Yep, I remember that.
Is that an actual thing?
I remember hearing about that. Yes, it is. Dang, maybe we should have waited to cover this one. I didn't know that was coming out.
Oh god. Okay, so apparently Pennywise is in all this other stuff, so that means before we can get to my next series, we're gonna have to do all this stuff.
No. No.
You don't want to review the Tommyknockers?
We can do it later.
Oh god. Is that even considered a horror movie? I mean, I guess it could be, but
So, in a 2013 interview, King actually stated that he came up with the idea for Pennywise after asking himself what scared children more than anything else in the world, and he felt the answer was clowns. King also thought of a troll like the one in the children's tale Three Billy Goats Gruff, but a troll who inhabited a sewer system. Trolls. It was either clowns or trolls, Jason. Take your pick. Which one do you want?
okay, what? It is a shape-shifting creature known as a glamour who is billions of years old.
I am eternity.
Although it lived on planet Earth for many years, it originated in a void dimension outside the regions of space known as the Macroverse. Good God, this is getting complicated. Remember when it was just a clown? Just a clown that ate kids and maybe turned into a spider at the end? Who knows? But
and now it's this multi-universe.
Yeah, it's like Thanos with clown makeup.
He's here for the Infinity Stones.
I am inevitable. I am the eater of children.
Imagine Thanos and Pennywise. Oh, Jason, that would be the best. Oh God, what's that show on YouTube you always watch? The Death Match.
Oh, yeah, the death battle.
Yeah, Thanos versus it.
Pennywise. It has a name. Pennywise.
No, the clown version has a name.
Well, Yeah, I mean the clown version does have a name. Yes. I want to type. What is it? It's giving me a movie. It's giving me a movie called What Is It? I don't care what it is. I want to know what is it? What is it? What is it? Clown. God, never mind. Now it's just telling me what a clown is. Don't want. I know what a clown is. It's not as funny. Oh, I don't know what a glamour is. I'm looking at a picture of a glamour. Are they just all spider people?
Probably.
Wow, the glamour has a shorter list than anything.
Well, they
The
said.
glamour's. Well,
they're saying like the Dark Tower is about a turtle holding the Earth up on his back.
That's where that turtle comes from? I keep hearing things about like Pennywise getting beat by a turtle.
Yeah.
And I've been watching this movie so far. I'm going, there's not a turtle yet. Where's the turtle at? The Glamours are a shape-shifting tribe of fear eaters. The Losers Club finds information leading them to believe it was a glamour, using the term from Gaelic origin. From a book Bill Denbrough found in the Derry Public Library titled Night's Truth. This discovery is also where they found information leading to the ritual of Chud. Or whatever. Other names are... Oh, God. Bunch of other stuff. But that's it. That's it. That was all of it.
So, Jason, overall, how do you like It Part 1? Now that we've kind of dived into this really deep hole of glamour lore of Stephen King.
I mean, it's fun. I mean, we're gonna get to the tomato meter here in a little bit, but
unfortunately, this tomato meter will be for the entire both parts.
So you just wait till next week?
I think we should
wait till we finish this entire thing off.
We'll do the IMDb one this time on this one.
Why? Because it's just. Oh yeah, I mean we could do that.
Do one this time and one the next.
All I know is that this movie's fun. Now, there is, at least for me, the only big problem is Tim Curry's not that scary. He's, like I said before, he's creepy. He's unsettling at times. But he's not scary, especially when he starts slapping out one-liners. You know, if a clown came out and just wanted to, like, eat you, you know, like, say, like, the beginning with Georgie.
Or right? The girl?
Yeah, where he's like, hey, how's it going? Da, 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 da. And he kind of, you know, like Georgie was like, oh, Dad says I can't take things from strangers. He's like, oh, well, your dad's a very smart man. I'm Pennywise the dancing clown, and you're Georgie. And now we're not, you know, strangers anymore. And, you know, he just kind of lures the kid in. That's creepy. When he just springs up, he's like, hey there, Wheezy. It's like, really? This is...
Or,
really?
Kiss me, fat boy.
Yeah, it's now you're getting into, like, Freddy Krueger territory with, like, the one-liners, and it kind of takes away from the scare, you know? So, I don't think, I don't think Tim Curry I think he's... I'm going to be truthful, I haven't seen this movie in a while. So I don't remember like all the details to it, and I have not watched the remakes, the film adaptations. This is technically the mini series. The other one's the film adaptations. I haven't seen the film adaptations at all, and from what I understand, the Pennywise in those movies are scary. Now I've watched reviews on it and stuff, of course, but. They say most of the times people say, yeah, this Pennywise is scary, but he lacks humor. He's not funny. which kind of defeats the purpose of being a clown, in my opinion. They have to find like a nice balance, and I don't think they've really accomplished that well. I mean, like this one kind of comes close because there are kind of like unsettling moments, and he still has a lot of laughs, but sometimes I think his laughs outweigh everything else he does.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that because, I mean, when you got Richie, no, not Richie, Wheezy, God, I cannot think of the kid's name. Eddie, when he's in the shower and he comes out of the drain, he's just like, and he pops up and he's just like, and he's like staring at you across the way.
It's like, so what do? You just get up and leave?
He just kind of lowers himself back after he's done doing the. He just like lowers himself back down.
So he's just scaring these kids for funsies, I guess. Until someone decides to silver pair of earrings will pop him up in the head. Him right in that big old bald spot in the.
Well, like I said, there are a lot of good moments in this movie, and it's like you said, it is a lot of fun. I could go back and rewatch both parts. It's one of those movies that I could just go back and rewatch. If I'm bored one night, I'm like, you know what? I just want to watch it and have a good laugh. I can.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how certain people took it. I don't know what their reaction was to this movie. I don't know if it was considered a good movie or good miniseries or bad miniseries. All I know is that, at least right now, and I haven't read the book. I should probably sit down and actually read the book. But, Jeremy, you've read the book, right?
It's been a very, very long time.
Never mind then. I was gonna ask you how well this kind of matches up with the book. Like I said, I know there's details that change, and certain unmentionable parts of the book are removed from the films.
Yeah, and we will not be talking about that.
Yeah, that is.
I'm not diving down that rabbit hole.
That's yeah. If anyone wants to find out, they can probably just
Google search it. Just Google it. You'll figure it out. You'll see it. I promise.
Yeah, it's
a lot.
A pretty explicit kind of thing, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, it has a good cast. Like I said, the characters are likable. There's not like, I mean, at least the protagonist. My biggest problem is that bully. I think just for some reason, he is so over exaggerated on the evil scale that even Darth Vader is probably like backing up, going, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! Slow it down, okay? You're giving the rest of us, bad images here."
It didn't matter who he was picking on. It always ended with, "I will kill you."
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting in school. And what is it, Ben?
Yeah. He's
Ben
up there,
in.
the new student talking about it. He's like, "Oink, oink, piggy."
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you. What? I just can't. I don't even know your name. You don't know my name. I just introduced. Hi, I'm gonna kill you, Ben.
Okay. Sure.
I mean, why? Did he look at him funny? Didn't seem like a pretty nice guy.
And Ravenfire, just to answer a question you will probably have on the next one, I'm going to go ahead and answer it. Because I know I said the kids are the only people who can see Pennywise. If you've seen him as a kid, you can see him as an adult. The adults can see him because they saw him as a kid.
Which must mean that these are the only kids to have seen him.
I know. I guess they left Derry. Maybe there's it's like the Freddy thing where there's a magical force field around Derry and he can't leave Derry.
Does he have like a spaceship or something? Is there something that's keeping him? Because I know they have to go.
There's no spaceship in the sewer. It's like a cocoon of web.
Okay, what's that flying thing then?
What flying thing? The lights?
Yeah,
that wasn't. That's it. That's literally what it's his belly.
Oh. So he is a flying.
He's not a flying thing. He crawled over them. Like literally crawled over them.
Huh.
By the way the camera makes it look, when we watch part 2, you'll see it. But like that glowing part that shined over him, yeah, it's his belly.
Oh God, I am actually diving so deep into this whole smorgasbord of
like. So you remember in the first one, or at the first part, the dude with the light came after him and it just kind of like dazed him. Yeah, the creature like lifts himself up and like the light comes out of his stomach and his chest, and it like that's how he blinds the people before he eats them.
Okay, so why'd he leave the bully? Was he just full? He ate belch, and he just kind of
even the bully was too evil for him.
Even Pennywise was like, "I'm gonna eat you." Oh God, oh. I mean, I eat kids and I destroy eternity and whatnot. I'm the eater of what? What did you say, Jeremy? The
eater of worlds and children.
I eat worlds and I eat children, but you are evil.
I draw the line with you.
I draw the line with you. Get out. And he turns into like what, a young Billy Idol.
Yeah. As soon as it changed, I was like, a white wedding with the rebel yell. All right, Jason. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give this first half?
So far, I give this 7.
7?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm not. Oh, people are gonna hurt me. They are gonna jump on me. I'm not a big Stephen King kind of guy.
I'm not either. I'll be honest.
I don't. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say that his work's horrible or anything like that. I do actually want to try to get into some more of his stuff. You know, but
I will say I like his older stuff a lot better than his newer stuff. From the new stuff that I have read, it's not as good.
Actually, you know what? I may want to take a look into maybe looking into getting into Stephen King because, like I said, I just got on that Stephen King page looking to figure out what it is. And it's gone down a rabbit hole of just like, this guy is the main antagonist of the series, but he also appears in this.
Hey, Jason will be the Stephen King like I am the H.P. Lovecraft. That's what we'll do.
What?
Jason, you'll learn about Stephen King and all the lore of his books like I learned about H.P. Lovecraft and the lore of all his stuff. It's just one big rabbit hole.
I want to know how the bad guy of The Stand is also the bad guy of The Dark Tower. I mean, I don't get it, but
it's got to be in there somewhere.
Stephen King is awesome. Yeah. Remember that Maximum Overdrive?
Children of the Corn.
He did Children of the Corn, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
Did he do Children of the
Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah, he did.
God. And people want to say Maximum Overdrive is a bad movie.
I will say his movie adaptations are not that great compared to, like, his books.
I think, and that's the thing. Maybe it's because
Carrie was a decent movie. The one with the other car. Oh, my God. I'm drawing a mind blank. I can't believe it.
What?
The red car.
Christine.
That's a Stephen King.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem is that I don't read Stephen King, and I've seen more of his adaptations, and that's the problem. Is that a lot of his film adaptations or TV adaptations or whatever, they're just Pet Sematary. Yep, that's another one. Sometimes they're just not that good.
Yep.
And that might, persuade me to move away from, okay, we got it. You know Stephen King, Christine, Pet Sematary, Cujo. You give us another one? Throw up another one. Come on. Throw it up.
Well, while we're waiting on that, I give this movie a 7 as well. I would give it higher, but them bullies just keep it down.
Yeah, I just didn't like that one bully. I mean, I don't know what his problem is. I know you got to make a bad guy like bad guy. But I mean, even a lot of things nowadays, you make the bad guy likable to an extent, to some sort of extent where it's not painful. You know, you does he get his comeuppance at some point?
Yes.
Spoil me, Jeremy. Just tell me that he dies.
Yes.
It's probably in like the most lamest way, though.
Yes, he dies.
Oh, okay, good. Well, I mean, at least he gets that. But I mean, does he like explode in like a shower? No, God, of course not.
No.
His hair just falls out, and I mean, he's got the worst thing. Complete white hair.
Spoil. He tries to kill one of the 7, and they kill him.
Does he get stabbed?
Yeah.
Is it a lot of stabbing?
I don't think so.
It's just like one stab.
I just know he's in a psychiatric ward. From what I remember, he's in a psychiatric ward, and Pennywise appears on the moon and tells him to go kill him, so he does. I kid you not.
Thinner, I think, is what one is called. And Carrie.
Yes, we all know about Carrie.
The Stand, we know. The Mist. Did he do The Mist? Is that his? I think he did The Mist.
I don't know. But
this is gonna. Okay, we're just gonna not call this it anymore. This is just Stephen King now. We're just yes. Thank you for listing our upcoming episodes at some point. Every one of those is gonna be probably featured in an episode. So, congratulations.
IMDb rated this movie a 6.8 out of 10, based off 132,000 votes.
6.8 out of 10. That's not surprising.
Oh, speaking of it, real quick, I'm sorry to put you off. By the way, what's his name from Stranger Things is actually in part 1 of the remake. The main kid.
Yeah, Wolf something.
Yeah,
I forgot.
I think he plays Richie.
Oh, so he's the Seth Green of our movie.
Yeah.
No offense to that actor, but I would prefer Seth Green. Always. He was in Ghostbusters. He was in that new Ghostbusters movie.
Yep.
He's kind of making headway. Stranger Things is all right. I mean, I like Stranger Things. It's not like, some people.
Stranger Things.
Yeah, we know you do, Jeremy. You love Stranger Things. Some people have like, I've got my comic books and stuff like that I really dive head into. But yeah, he's been taken off. He's gotten quite a few projects going on, and but yeah, I still prefer Seth Green. Now, what would be really funny is if they had, unfortunately, they can't do it because the one who played the child actor who played Bill passed away. But what they should have done was get like all the actors who are kids, get all the kid actors to play their same characters as adults in like the film series. Like they get like a whole new set of kids, and then like all the actors from the kid actors from the miniseries play them as adults.
We'll talk about it more in the remake, but I do know I remember seeing they actually asked the kids from the remake like who they wanted to play the adult versions of themselves, and one of them actually suggested Joseph Gordon-Levitt to play them as the adult version. I know that at least in the remakes, when I think I remember that interview you were talking about, because they had the adults and the kids in the same room talking. Yeah.
Right. I know they said that a lot for preparation purposes, they would have the kids and the adult actors work together like real closely and like pretty much shadow each other. That way they could get the same kind of personalities and sync up really, so that way there's not much of a discern between the two. But we can get into that one later.
Well, everyone, that's all the time we have. Thanks for joining us on the first half of our dive into Stephen King's It. Derry, Maine is chock full of bad people, and we will finish it off next week as we finish the second half of it.
Second half of it. Second half of it. What is it?
It
is it.
So it's going to be a fun time. So we'll see you movie night Monday for that. And we will see you next Wednesday, same time, same campfire. And we all hope you have a safe and great night.
Later.
Hola.